Now I can use my Frunk to store anything hands-free, you know, grocery, backpacks, any small stuff. I would just put in there and then just, you know, open and close without having to, you know, worry about denting your hood. Hey guys, Paul here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I finally will get the power frunk installed on my Tesla Model Y. This is 2023 Tesla Model Y long range, which I took delivery of the car about 4 months ago. So a few months ago I got a power frunk for my Tesla Model 3 from Test Studio. Since then I wanted to get it for my Tesla Model Y too, because it's so much more convenience to use the frunk or front trunk of your car. I've been using it for grocery shopping for a while for power frunk. This is perfect spot to put your grocery. So I'm going back to Test Studio today to get the power frunk install. So Test Studio is probably one of the first authorized installer for all Tesla aftermarket parts right here in Southern California. They are in Tustin, Orange County. So I'm going back there today and I'll show you step by step how they would professionally install the power frunk on Tesla Model Y. Now let's go.
But I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to be.
Alright, I'm back at Test Studio. Wow. There are so many cars in today. So that's my car. Another car right here. Gray, the Midnight 02 and the red Performance Model Y. They all are in the shop getting the installation done with Test Studio. So today I'm getting a power front on my Model Y, and this car getting a few things done that one too, I think. All right, let's go and get started on the power front. So another benefits at Test Studio right here, while I'm getting my car installed on the power front, I can also charge the car, which is really awesome. So by the time I leave, then my car should be fully charged. All right, here is Brian with Test Studio. So we're gonna go through what comes in the box first, in case you want to do this yourself at home, in case you're not around here. Because if you in the area, I would suggest just come here like me. I don't want to deal with all this craziness myself, but if you're not from Southern California, then you know how to do all of this power front step by step professionally. All right, so what comes in the box, Brian?
How you doing, guys? So what comes in the box right here is what will sit over the latch and the actual suction system right here. Obviously in a baggie will be some supplies and zip ties, your actual wiring harness, and then from there obviously the struts that will provide the power to power frunk, and then the module, and then the mounting brackets that will adjust where your struts will sit. And then from there we can move over here, and the first things you'll probably be starting off with before you even start the install is removing this whole entire thing, which is just popping up this very easily and then taking out these screws right here and here.
So how many screws? Just 4, right?
4 in total, and then you'll be popping this
so
up.
this just popped out.
Yep.
So this is something different from my Model 3. So Model 3 have the strut right here, which we have to entirely remove and change it. But this one, as you can see, has a metal bar, but the strut, it's actually on the inside, right?
Correct.
All right, we'll see that after in the video. So now let's remove everything real quick. So firstly, this one first. As you can see, that there are no screws at all, just pop everything up. So after these are all 10 millimeters. So 4 of them first. before we can remove this top right here, you have to unlock the clip. It's no screw, just plastic clip that's connecting to this right here before we can remove the top. There, that's it, right? So before you remove the top, you have to undo the
Emergency button.
emergency switch, and now we're good to go. So this is what's the inside of 2023 Tesla Model Y long range. We have to remove the air filter vents. The vents actually on the bottom part of it right there.
And you'll be continuing with your 10 mil. It's just 2 bolts, one right here on the right and one right here on the left, and then it just completely lifts out.
That's it. Okay, so what's the next step here, Brian?
Alright, so we're about to get started on the struts. However, it's actually very dark in there, so it's a bit difficult for you guys to see what I'm about to do. So just for an explanation, when you're trying to slip off the struts off of the mounting point, you're gonna actually need to slip something like this, maybe a flathead or something that you have this really pointy and long. You're gonna have to slip it into this bracket right here, so it opens this up. This will actually open up the hole in the behind, so you can actually slip this out of the pocket. And then from there, you'll be able to slip out and then replace with the aftermarket struts from Handship.
So opening and unlock from the OEM strut is the same way?
Yeah.
Same, okay.
So to reach this area, it is a bit tight, so I recommend popping this clip right here, just so when you are accessing it, you're able to push this up a bit to get your arm in, because you will be reaching inward right here. And then while you're reaching inward, you'll be using something like this to, like I said earlier, just slide in between to open up that hole. So to do so,
that's a strut right there.
this is the strut right here, and you'll see it. I'm gonna get that tool in there. I always recommend going bottom first, because that way when you get to the top, it will just reach the top right here, and you can pull the strut out right there.
Okay, so that's how you release the strut.
Yes, sir. This is the OEM strut. It's a really tight spot, and then on the driver's side is even tighter.
So we started from the passenger side first. Basically, do the same thing on the driver's side, but the driver's side has tighter space because of the steering wheel column, right? I mean the steering wheel rack right here, and all these components blocking compared to that. That's more like an open space. Look at this one. This is the driver's side. So before you release the strut, I would suggest you have something like this to keep your front hood keep open so it doesn't close down on your head.
Alright, so from here, after you remove the struts, you're going to actually have to remove the OEM strut placements right here where it mounts, and then this will actually go on where the OEM screw was, and basically move the mounting point, and from there you will only need a 13 mil to remove that. So we'll go over
So
here.
you have to remove
the OEM
first.
Yeah, so it'll be right there. Right at it for you. Right there.
Right there. So that mount right there. So you have to remove that and replace with this whole bracket.
Yes, so you'll be able to replace it. Basically, you're going to get this bracket, place the screw in, whereas obviously where the OEM was, and then it'll move the mounting point a little bit lower right here, and this is where your strut.
Because this strut is a little longer than the stock, right? So
correct. Well, you also have to think about it too. This is going to open and close, because this portion has a motor inside of it as well, so it does extend outward more as well. So this is what I was speaking of, where it was the OEM. It's going to sit on here. And then if you see right here, now you're going to see that flat space. And then the hole, they're going to be using the new screw on and putting the bracket over.
Use the right bracket. This is for the right side of the car.
Exactly. So it's going to sit exactly like this. Obviously this will be sitting against the wall and the grooves right there. So that's how it's gonna sit.
Okay.
And I'll place it on for you guys right now, just so you guys can see what it looks like. Oh. The tool you'll be using to actually screw this on is a T30.
So we're just done installing the strut replacement right there, as you can see. Now we just put the same thing on the right side so we can replace with the hand show strut bar. Right, so we just install that nail connecting point there. So it's a little tricky to get to on the driver's side for sure, but after you're done with that, then the next step should be really easy. Right, it's time to put the strut bar in. So I'm gonna show you the one on the passenger side because it's easier to see. We have a little bit more room to have a look how he's gonna install it. All right, go ahead.
So placement for it will be wire side down, and then this will be up. If you want, you can rotate from up here because obviously both of us gonna be pointing the same direction. So you're gonna rotate this way. So this will be the top side, and this will be the bottom side. From there, we're gonna dip in like so, and just clip it in. That's one. We can move to the top. This portion right here, you will be moving the hood a bit just to get the top one.
So as you can see, that's the top part of the strut bar. We just pop it in there. So basically, the top part is facing this way, and the bottom part facing the other way. So that part is done, and we're just going to do same thing pretty much on the driver's side. Driver's side is done. What's the next step here, Brian?
So we're gonna start moving on to the latch and also placing the suction unit for it. What you're gonna be doing is removing these 10 mils right here. This pops this off. You're also gonna have to end up removing this plug right here as well. What I do recommend before you go any further though is get some blue tape or whatever tape that you have and mark out the OEM placement of the latch, because once you remove the 10s, it will move around and you can misplace it. So we're gonna mark it down first, remove the 10s, and then from there I'll show you how to put the aftermarket latch on top of the OEM latch.
As you can see, he's using a masking tape to mark where the latch placement is.
So we have it all marked out. I'm gonna remove this plug now, like so, and then just pop off these 10 mils. And then from there, you're gonna see how it has a lot of play and everything like when it came off. What you're gonna need to do before you do anything else is there's gonna be this little wind up right here. You're gonna be able to pop that off by pushing in, and that comes right out. So the main reason why you're gonna do that is this is gonna sit right on top, like so. Right on top, you'll see it right here. And it's gonna actually need you to have this wire run upward and clip onto here.
So that's the wire from the auto power front.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And then from here, you're gonna wind this back and clip it back into place. And then everything will be basically in place right here.
So we just use this OEM screw to screw it back in?
Correct.
Okay.
Alright, so you use the 10mm bolts from the OEM to just kind of put it on. Right now, I'm not gonna actually tighten or make it positioned or anything because you're gonna be moving things around a lot still. So we'll do that at the very end. What we're gonna do from now is actually there's gonna be the emergency line right here. We need to fish it through to this portion right here. So what you'll need to do is just press in right here. It'll actually pop this clip out, pull outward, and you'll see all that access right there. For the Model Y, it's quite easy. If you look in this direction right here, you'll see that you already see the light of the hole from the other side. So you can just simply dip your hand through and reach the other side with your hands, like so, and it comes right up. And then, yeah, so for that portion, you will just eventually zip tie this on top, and then obviously, so if there's any emergencies, you'll be able to pull and it will release the latch, like so. And then you can pull excess a little bit to make it sit nicer when you're pushing it in. so.
Before we installing this, you have to actually use a 9-volt battery, right? To open the trunk, like manually.
Yeah. This would be.
Let's say your 12-volt battery is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your 12-volt battery ever dies, this is that point where you can access the ground and power. Technically speaking, you can use jumper cables and clip them to another car, or just a 9-volt battery, or those little jumper kits from Home Depot or Walmart or whatever you purchased it from. Should be more than enough voltage to pop your frunk open.
But now we can just pull that.
Yeah, you would be able to pull this.
Okay. All right.
So then we push it back in, slide this portion. You're gonna notice that there's a little slit right there, and then you're gonna clip from the bottom. All right, guys. So we're gonna get started on wiring the front portion, which is where all the latches are. The main portions that you're gonna be wiring is this plug right here, this one right here, and then over here as well. And you'll be just using splitters for the most part, and then one plug just goes straight in, which is the aftermarket one for the new suction unit.
Okay.
So I'll just run through it so you guys can see what's going on.
So most of these are like pass-through.
Yeah, these are all splitters.
We're getting a power from the stop.
Correct.
Stop.
So they're right here.
Power and control, right?
Correct. And then there's right here. Nothing difficult for this portion. It's just very plug and play, in my opinion. Take your time, make sure everything is wired up, because you don't want to close everything, and next blender you can't get your frunk open.
Is this a stop release?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Split, 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 and then you're already done with the first half of it, and then you'll just have this connection, which will reach to the second
box,
portion
right?
of the harness. Yeah.
So next we're gonna connect all the wiring to the struts control.
I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a breakdown of the harness itself. This is what's going to be actually going to the module, the box. Power and ground will be obviously labeled ground and power. That's so. Similar to that latch harness that was attached in the front earlier, that will be what plugs here. Where's that bad boy at? Right here. The other end of it will be going right here. These will be going to your struts. Everything is
So
separate.
all the white plugs are struts.
Correct. And then the suction unit is gonna have its own plug.
The brown color.
The brown color plug right here.
So that's for
Suction unit, which is right here. This is where you also ran the emergency line from.
awesome. So
Correct.
this what pulling the latch in,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. So technically speaking, inside here, everything is wound up and everything. So once it's sucking, it's pulling inside here, and then that's what's also why the emergency line's connected to here too, because if you pull, it'll release. All right, everybody. So where you're going to be drawing power from, the easiest access point would be right here, right above your battery. There's going to be this. Pull it outwards. You're going to notice here, you can actually slip your wire on there. Handshow nicely provides a 13mm bolt. So you would simply just slip this on.
So if you have 2023 Model Y, like my car, this is the 16-volt lithium-ion battery. So you can just get the power from.
From here, you have a lot of options for ground points. You have right here, there, and also right here. All these are just 10 mils. Personally, I always use this one. Just loosen the 10 mil. And then slip the ground in, like so. We're just gonna get everything ready for the first test run. So right now, we're just gonna plug the harness into the module right here, like so. And then from there, let's plug everything up. Like I said, these wires will go here. And then the suction unit wire, let's grab that real quick.
The brown one, right?
Yes, the brown one. It's gonna go right here. It's gonna slip right over, like so. There we go. And then from there, we're gonna connect the struts. That's gonna be the passenger side one right here. Onto the driver's side. And this plug is for the tweeter. It's the thing that goes beep every single time you open or close.
So you can
You can
option not to
Exactly.
plug it in if you don't like the sound.
Yeah, exactly.
So make sure you plug in the right side.
And then we'll just plug it in just so we know everything's functioning.
Okay, so that's a
Little speaker, tiny little thing. All right, so that's all going, plugged in, and then let's plug in power. Right here. So, and then you can see there, it's on now. One last thing before we test is we're gonna move the mounting point right here on this to confirm that it's in the correct place. That's where we're gonna use those markers that we made earlier and have it all sit in the correct position. Go. All you'll need to do to test is grab the same wire that connected to your emergency button right here, and from there give it a good press.
awesome. So that's the first test. It worked right away, which is awesome. So it closed and it latched in.
Alright, so if you guys want to see close in for how it clicks, you're just going to press the button like so, and then the hood's going to drop, and you're going to see right here, it's going to touch that latch, and then that's how it pulls in, and then voila.
We tested it and it worked. Now we just have to put all the modules and the rest of the stuff right in place. So where should we put these?
Personally, for 2023s, the way I would run things, and we've been running things, is there's a nice big space right here. So that's where we usually place this module right here. From there, you notice that there's a lot of wires. We actually run them through this little portion right here and allow the wires to run down. I would say be very careful for this portion. Right under here is where the fan is, so don't have any loose wires dangling downwards. Run it across the wall the best that you can. Where I'll be placing the suction unit is right here on the back side of it though, and we usually zip tie that down, make it nice and tight, just so you don't have any issues of rattling.
So we're gonna hide this one inside there.
Yeah, so it'll be sitting similar to like this, obviously with all the wires in the way is a little difficult, but it'll be in here like so.
Okay.
And then for the rest, the wires will be running downward this way. What we also do with the strut wires is we'll actually pass it through the underside, so it reaches to the back over here where the module is, and also for the same thing for the driver's side as well. That way everything's tucked away and doesn't seem like there's anything there to begin with.
All right.
And now obviously you can run it your own way, some way that you see would be better, especially because each year of Tesla does change up what's inside, so just do what works best for you.
Awesome. Now let's clean up all the wires. Right, so that's where we mount the main electrical box, or main controlling box for this power Frunk. Just right behind the battery right here. That's where he put a suction unit. Just right behind that bar right there. And then just basically zip tied it. Right, so he just finished up tightening up all the wires. Looks really nice and clean. So this tuck inside, I mean I can't even tell. So this whole bunch of wires tuck in right here. And so this is the wires going in from here to the main latch right here, and that's it. Looks really good, and that's the main box. And now we're ready to. Are we gonna test first, or we're gonna put the cover back in first?
We're gonna do one last test, simply because we did disconnect things and obviously had to disconnect the power again and replug things, so we're just gonna make sure everything's functional before we put the bin back in.
All right, let's test it out.
Last test.
All right, looks really good. Now I think we should be able to put all the covers back in, right? The top.
Correct.
Now we just need to put all the parts and the top back in. power front installation is done. Now I can just use my phone, pop it open, hands-free, which is awesome. And same thing, I could either close using this emergency button right here on the inside.
It's because there's tape on it too. Where? Tape is, yeah. No.
Or I can just close from the phone too.
We need to test drive this one?
Another way you can close is from the inside of the car. So yeah, it is awesome. Finally got my power front installed. Thank you so much, Brian with Test Studio. Now I can use my Frunk to store anything hands-free, you know, grocery, backpacks, any small stuff. I would just put in there and then just, you know, open and close without having to, you know, worry about denting your hood. So right now, Test Studio offering promotion on the power front on Model Y. So what is the promotion right now?
Alright guys, so right now we're doing a promotion for the product. We're going to do parts and labor at $550. All the details is that it is going to be a limited time offer, but the details Paul will list below in the description, and also pretty sure he'll list our phone number and our website there. So get into contact with us, make an appointment, and yeah, get this installed right now because it's probably gonna be the cheapest it's ever gonna be.
Yeah, this is awesome deal. $550 labor and parts. So if you guys are in the area, you know, just stop by Test Studio right here in Tustin, Orange County. Right, so before I leave, Test Plus, they're actually having a promotion, really good deal on these wheel covers, 419-inch Model Y for $250. I'll put more details in the description down below. Looks really cool. The installation is done. I got my car all charged up, which is awesome extra benefit here with Test Studio. Before I go home, now the battery, it's 84%, which is awesome. Finally, the power front is done, the installation is done. They did a really awesome job here at Test Studio. So if you are interested, I'll put all the details of Test Studio right below in the description box. And don't forget to come over if you are interested in getting any third-party or aftermarket parts for your Tesla. Any Tesla Model Y, Model X, Model S, or Model 3. Alright, thank you so much guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to click like if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome contents like this. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.